Follow along with me as I bake, cook, and clean until my boyfriend agrees to let me be a trad house husband. Today, because we moved, I'm going to make something simple yet homey, and to me that screams chocolate chip cookies. The recipe is simple and easy. I'm going to use that mixer back there. I'm going to show you the dough in between steps so you know what it looks like. For the recipe, you're going to need 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter. I like to use salted butter. 3/4 a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 a cup of white sugar, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon or however much you want of vanilla, 2 1/4 cup of flour, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking soda has been sifted into this bowl. 2 cups of chocolate chips. I use semi-sweet. You can use milk chocolate, dark chocolate, or a blend of them all. At the bottom, there is a cup of chopped nuts. These are pecans. I use whatever I have. So that could be walnuts, pecans. Really, this is about making the cookie that you want to. It's supposed to taste good and be a treat. So whatever nuts you like, you can put them in there. You don't have to put nuts in at all. It's a personal preference. Quick overview, you're just going to cream together the butter and the 2 sugars. Once it comes a little more binded and fluffy, then you add in the 2 eggs and the vanilla. Once that's all incorporated and again a little more fluffy, then you're going to add in your sifted dry ingredients. And lastly, you add in the chocolate chips and the nuts. I like a cookie that is kind of brown and crispy on the edges and not too gooey in the center. And so that's what we're going to go for. This color change is what we're looking for. The edges are a little darker, and you can see in the center where it's been mixing that it's a little blonder. And so that's what we're looking for. I'm going to scrape down the sides and I'm going to incorporate that and mix it one more time before I add in the eggs and the vanilla and beat them well. Now added the eggs in the mixture and fluffed them. The next step is I'm going to add in the flour and the baking soda and the salt. I'm going to do it in 2 little batches on the mixer so that it doesn't explode all the flour into the air. Here's the finished dough with the flour, baking soda, and salt combined. Now I'm going to add this and put it back on the mixer. I know a lot of people say you need to do this by hand, but I didn't get this mixer so that I could do things by hand. Thanks Costco for having the KitchenAid mixer on sale, by the way. So I'm gonna put these in and then the dough will be done. Here's the finished dough. I take a cookie scoop like this and I scoop a cookie onto the cookie sheet and then I push it down with my hands. I'm gonna put this in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna bake them at 375 degrees for about 9 to 11 minutes. You wanna pay attention to where they are at the cooking process at 9. I like the edges to be a little brown, a little crispy, so I wait for the edges to get crispy and then the top a little too, so that the middle is not too gooey. I like them and hopefully you do too. Here's the cookies straight out of the oven. You can see how the edges are fairly brown and the center is almost getting brown. So I'm going to leave these cookies on the cookie sheet for at least 5 minutes. I'm going to sprinkle some flaky salt on the top of them. That's optional. You don't have to do that. I like the contrast of the sweet and salty. By leaving them on the sheet pan for 5 minutes while the pan cools down, you're allowing them to continue to still cook a little more. And then after that, I'm going to take them off with that spatula right there. And I'm going to let them cool right there. I'm going to go get Gio and then we'll do a taste test. There's Gio. Here's the finished product. Nice and crispy on the bottom. Salt. Perfectly cooked inside, not chewy and gooey because I don't really like that. Want to taste it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You made these?
I did.
They're pretty good. Really delicious.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate these chocolate chip cookies?
9. They're great. The only reason I'm not giving you a 10 is because it's slightly on the smaller side.
On a scale,
bigger cookies.
On a scale of 1 to 10, trad house husband material.
I mean, you're getting there. Say 9.5.
9.5. Almost there. Leave us your submissions on what you think I should cook or bake next. Like, share, follow for more. Bye.
Bye, guys.